Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be building a dust extractor, dust collector, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a relatively simple method. I'm going to build the whole thing myself. I know there's versions you can buy that mount on top of the lid that have a big cyclone and everything like that, but honestly those can get pretty pricey. Especially I'm up here in Canada, so paying exchange and duty and all that stuff, it just gets way too expensive too fast. Literally all these ABS couplers, 90-degree elbows, the pipe, the bucket, and the lid literally cost me 20 bucks. So I mean, it's going to be far less expensive to build it this way. If you do need more capacity, just get a bigger bucket. I've just got a 5-gallon bucket here. I mean, it'll do me plenty. But yeah, the nice thing about this, once it's already incorporated into the lid, you just put the lid on any size bucket that you need and it'll all work. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so all I've done is I've just marked a couple holes. I've drilled out my holes to fit the ABS plastic through. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a coupler on the back side of the lid and put the coupler on there. And then I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to put a coupler on the top side of the lid. And then there will be another pipe coming out of that. And then that's going to go off to the vacuum. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side except with the 90s. And this is going to be the side that'll actually get the swirling action going inside the vacuum or inside the bucket. You'll see that here in a second. No fancy tools here. All I use is a simple hacksaw to cut the pipe and a drill with a 2-inch hole saw to cut the holes in the lid. That's really all it is. I'm using 1.5 inch inside diameter tubing. You could use larger. The only reason I'm staying around this size, I don't plan on vacuuming up any large chunks with my extractor or anything like that. So the smaller the pipe will keep the velocity up, airspeed velocity. So it'll keep your suction higher considering how much hose is going to be on here. So I use a 2-inch hole saw, fits the pipe through. I've got a little bit of silicone that I'm going to put around there afterwards to seal it up, make it airtight. Let's continue on. So from here, all we're going to do is add our pipe to our coupler. Then we're going to install our pipe underneath the lid where it's going to stay. Then we're going to take our coupler, put it beside the pipe, not like an idiot, and we'll mark the height of the pipe eventually as high as it's going to come up inside of the coupler, and then we're going to cut it to length. Now that we've got our pipe cut to length, we're going to take and add it to our coupler. Not sure why I just didn't use the first coupler, but hey. I'm just going to take and add a little bit of super glue to my joint. You don't have to do this step. It's totally optional. I just doing it just because I don't ever plan on taking this apart, and it's just a little bit more reinforcement to the joint. Pressure fit though is more than tight enough if you ever plan on dismantling this or changing it or altering it, whatever. If you have ABS pipe glue, you can go ahead and use that. I don't, so this is just the route I went with. It's what I had on hand. Now we're just going to add our pipe and our coupler to our lid. It's very important you drop it first. Just going to add a little bit more glue to the pipe, then I'm going to press fit my coupler on. Again, if all you're doing is pressure fit, just go ahead and press them together. And there you have it. It's literally nothing more than just a short length of pipe connecting both couplers together on each side. Now what we're going to do is take one of our 90s. This is going to go on the underside of the lid. We're going to take our straight section of pipe. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it above approximately where my hole is, eyeball the length that I'm going to need so that I don't accidentally hit the inside of the bucket. And I'm going to cut this off at a 45-degree angle. That way, as the air comes inside of the pipe, it's going to hit the inside of the bucket and swirl around. If you need to as well with the 45, you can take and you can tilt it downwards and away from the suction end of it in the center. I did. Clean off any little burrs there. And we're going to go ahead and cut another straight section as well that we're going to need, and this is going to come from the 90 upwards. It's just going to be a short section like we had before. It's going to connect both couplers together. Same thing here, I just removed the burrs from my short section of pipe, add a little bit of glue to my coupler, and then I'm just going to press the two together. As you can see here, I've already added my short section of pipe with my 45-degree cut to the bottom side of my 90-degree coupler. I didn't glue that one, that was just pressure fit. That way I can change the angle of it later on if need be. Take and add a little bit of glue to the inside of my 90-degree coupler on the top. I'm going to add my coupler to the top of the lid with a short section of pipe coming through the bottom. Go ahead, press those two together, and boom, that's what she looks like. Now you have your 45-degree angle cut. It's going to swirl on the inside of the bucket. It's pointed away from the center section where it's going to be sucking air in, and I can still change the angle of it anytime I want. Now I've already gone ahead and I've cut another short section of pipe. This one's going to go to the top part of my coupler. That will hold on my other 90-degree coupler as well. Now this one you want to make sure it's clocked and far enough away from your center suction tube so the two don't run into each other. This one's going to have a longer section of just straight pipe. All I'm doing is just kind of eyeballing my measurement. I just want my straight pipe in the center and my 90-degree coupler to be approximately the same height. So go ahead and cut that one to length. We're going to add a little bit of glue to that pipe, and then I'm going to go ahead and press that into my center section of pipe, and that will finish off the, I guess, induction section of it. Now I'm just going to take and add a little bit of glue to the short side of pipe that goes inside our 90-degree coupler. Go ahead, press those two together. Now from here, we're going to add a little bit more glue to the top side of our pipe. And then this is going to hold our 90-degree coupler on the top section. Now again, make sure these two are clocked correctly. I basically made sure that both of mine were pointed in almost the exact same direction. Reason being is that way I know whatever direction my top part is facing, gives me a quick line of sight as to what the inside section is facing. You just want to make sure that they're not going to hit the center section of pipe or the side of the bucket at the exact same time. That would be horrendous. Now just go ahead, add a little bit more glue to our longer section of pipe here. This one's only about 3 inches long, and it's just going to come off our 90-degree elbow, and that is what's going to connect to your tool or whatever it is. That's basically what it looks like. Simple as that. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of caulking on the inside of my lid, not the outside, that way it's hidden. It's not really the prettiest thing in the world. Again, it doesn't have to be, just kind of glob it on there. This is basically just going to seal it up, make it a little bit more airtight. If you want to skip this step, by all means go ahead and do it. It's not necessary. From here, we're just going to push it in with our finger. Again, all you're trying to do is just seal up the holes. It's on the inside, it doesn't have to be pretty. One thing to just keep in mind is when you start pressing the caulking in and let it dry on your 90-degree section there, make sure that it's clocked and pointed the right direction before it dries. That way it doesn't hit the inside of the bucket lid or anything like that and you have to cut it off and do it again. Alright, so the silicone's dry. We can basically go ahead and install this now. So this is what it looks like. So this side here will connect to your tool, whether it's a sander, a saw, anything like that. This side will have your vacuum hose that goes out to your tool, and so it's going to come in, down, through this pipe here, and it's going to swirl around the side of the bucket and settle at the bottom. This piece here is going to take air in nice and high, and centrally in the bucket, this will actually go out to your vacuum cleaner. So you go ahead and you put the lid on. Now I also have this coupler here. This coupler is going to connect to my vacuum, since how my hose is a slightly different size than the pipe. You can get all these couplers in completely different sizes, just a rubber coupler with two worm gear clamps on it. This one just happens to fit my hose. I don't need one for this one. My hose will actually fit the over top of there perfectly fine, so I just need the one right on top of here. There we go. Put my vacuum hose in there, put the other one on there, turn it on, see how she works. Now I don't really have much to clean right now with this thing, except for the mess that I made making my extractor. So it's just some PVC bits and stuff like that on the floor, but as you can see, one pass picks up everything. As for suction power, feels like it hasn't lost anything. It still picks up everything at full power. It's got a lot of suction coming out of the end. I'm really happy with that. Now again, if you have a more powerful vacuum, suction will be higher, but everything did its job and all the shavings are inside of the bucket. Overall, I'm really happy with this thing. It's such a simple design, but it works. Let me know if you guys build one yourself and what you think of it.